Doctrine of caveat emptor. Let the buyer beware. Sale of Goods Act, 1930 Section 16. 1. Meaning. The doctrine of caveat emptor means that the buyer must be careful while purchasing goods. The seller is not responsible for the quality or fitness of goods unless the law or contract provides otherwise. Right finger in simple words. Buyer buys at his own risk. 2. Statutory basis. Section 16 Sale of Goods Act, 1930. Subject to certain exceptions, there is no implied condition or warranty as to quality or fitness of goods supplied under a contract of sale. 3. General rule. Buyer must O. Examine goods, O. Judge quality, O. Decide suitability. Seller has no duty to point out defects. Example. A buys fruits without checking. Later they are rotten, right pointing arrow, buyer cannot complain. 4. Exceptions to caveat emptor, very important for exams. The doctrine does not apply in the following cases. 1. Fitness for buyer's purpose. Section 16, 1. If 1. Buyer tells the seller the purpose, and 2. Buyer relies on seller's skill, and 3. Seller deals in such goods, right finger, there is an implied condition of fitness. Case. Baldry v. Marshall, car not fit for touring, right pointing arrow, seller liable. 2. Sale by description. Section 15. Goods must correspond with description. Case. Wallace v. Pratt, inferior goods supplied instead of described goods. 3. Sale by sample. Section 17. Bulk must match the sample and be free from hidden defects. 4. Fraud or misrepresentation by seller. If seller conceals defects, makes false statements, right finger, buyer can avoid contract. Example. Seller hides cracks in a house, right pointing arrow, caveat emptor not applicable. 5. Implied condition is to title. Section 14a. Seller must have right to sell. Case. Niblet v. Confectioners Materials Company. Goods sold with defective title. 6. Merchantable quality. Section 16, 2. Goods bought from a seller dealing in such goods must be of merchantable quality. Case. Grant v. Australian Knitting Mills, defective underwear, right pointing arrow, seller liable. 5. Caveat emptor vs caveat vendita. Caveat emptor. Caveat vendita. Buyer beware, seller beware. Old rule. Modern consumer approach. Buyer bears risk, seller responsible. Modern law is moving towards caveat vendita, especially in consumer protection. 6. Importance of the doctrine. Encourages buyer vigilance. Balances commercial transactions. Modified by implied conditions and warranties. Modern buyer bears risk, seller responsible. Modern law is moving towards caveat vendita, especially in consumer protection. 6. Importance of the doctrine. Encourages buyer vigilance. Balances commercial transactions. Modified by implied conditions and warranties. 7. One-line exam answer. The doctrine of caveat emptor means that the buyer purchases goods at his own risk, but this rule is subject to important exceptions under Sections 14 to 17 of the Sale of Goods Act, 1930. 8. Short conclusion, exam friendly. While caveat emptor remains the general rule, modern law protects buyers through implied conditions and warranties, thereby reducing its rigidity. If you want next, checkmark 5. Jones v. Just 18683, Q. B. 197 Pushpin. Topic. Implied condition as to merchantable quality. Doctrine of caveat emptor, exception. Section 16, 2, Sale of Goods Act, 1930, small diamond. Facts of the case. The buyers, Jones, purchased Manila hemp from the sellers, Just. The sale was by description. The goods were defective and unmerchantable at the time of sale. The defect could not be discovered on reasonable examination. The buyer suffered loss and sued the seller. Small diamond issue. Whether the seller was liable for supplying goods not of merchantable quality, despite the doctrine of caveat emptor. Small diamond decision, judgment. The court held the seller liable. There was a breach of implied condition as to merchantable quality. Buyer was entitled to reject the goods and claim damages. Small diamond ratio decidendi. Where goods are sold by description by a seller who deals in such goods, there is an implied condition that the goods shall be of merchantable quality, provided the buyer has not examined them or the defect is latent. Small diamond legal principle established. Caveat emptor does not apply where O sale is by description. O seller deals in such goods. O defect is latent, hidden. Small diamond. Importance of the case. Foundation of Section 16(2) of the Sale of Goods Act. Protects buyers from hidden defects. Frequently cited with Grant v. Australian Knitting Mills. Small diamond simple example. A person buys packed rice from a wholesaler. Later insects are found inside the sealed bags. Right finger seller is liable under merchantable quality, like Jones v. Just. Small diamond exam-oriented conclusion. Jones v. Just establishes that when goods are sold by description by a seller dealing in such goods, there is an implied condition that the goods shall be of merchantable quality, and the doctrine of caveat emptor will not protect the seller against latent defects. Small diamond one-line ratio, quick revision. Sale by description plus latent defect equals breach of merchantable quality. If you want. Richard Thorold Grant v. Australian Knitting Mills Limited. Air 1936 PC 34, Privy Council, Pushpin. Topic. Implied condition as to fitness for purpose. Implied condition as to merchantable quality. Exception to doctrine of caveat emptor. Section 16(1) and 16(2), Sale of Goods Act, 1930 Small diamond. Facts of the case. The buyer, Dr. Grant, purchased woolen underwear from a retailer. The underwear was manufactured by Australian Knitting Mills Limited. After wearing it, Dr. Grant developed acute dermatitis. The defect was due to excess sulfites used in manufacturing. The buyer had no opportunity to examine the underwear. Small diamond issues 1. Whether there was a breach of implied condition as to fitness for purpose. 2. Whether the goods were of merchantable quality. Small diamond decision, judgment. The Privy Council held the seller and manufacturer liable. There was O breach of implied condition as to fitness, and O breach of implied condition as to merchantable quality. Buyer was entitled to damages. Small diamond ratio decidendi. When goods are bought for a particular purpose and the buyer relies on the seller's skill and judgment, there is an implied condition that the goods shall be reasonably fit for that purpose, and goods causing injury are not of merchantable quality. Small diamond legal principles established. Goods meant to be worn must be safe for skin contact. Latent defects fall within seller's liability. Retailer is liable even if he is not the manufacturer. Small diamond importance of the case. Leading authority on Section 16. Strongly limits caveat emptor. Frequently cited with O Priest v. Last, O Jones v. Just, O Baldry v. Marshall. Small diamond. Simple example. A person buys baby clothes causing skin rashes due to chemicals. Right finger seller is liable under Grant v. AKM. Small diamond exam-oriented conclusion. Grant v. Australian Knitting Mills firmly establishes that where goods are bought for a particular purpose and contain a latent defect making them unsafe, there is a breach of implied conditions as to fitness and merchantable quality, and the doctrine of caveat emptor does not apply. Small diamond one-line ratio, quick revision. Unsafe goods equals not fit plus not merchantable. If you want, checkmark 5 mark, 10 mark answer checkmark comparison with Priest v. Last checkmark flowchart on Section 16. Just tell me thumbs up. Bristol Tramways and Carriage Company Limited v. Fiat Motors Limited. 1910-2-KB-831 Pushpin. Topic. Implied condition as to fitness for purpose. Sale of Goods Act, 1930 Section 16(1). Limitation of seller's liability when buyer relies on own judgment. Small diamond. Facts of the case. Bristol Tramways ordered motor bus chassis from Fiat Motors Limited. The contract specified chassis of a particular type and design. The buyer was an experienced and skilled user. The buyer did not rely on the seller's skill or judgment. The chassis supplied was unsuitable for the hilly roads of Bristol. Buyer claimed breach of implied condition as to fitness. Small diamond issue. Whether an implied condition as to fitness for purpose arises when the buyer does not rely on the seller's skill, but specifies the goods himself. Small diamond decision, judgment. The court held Fiat Motors not liable. No implied condition of fitness arose. Buyer relied on his own judgment and specifications. Small diamond ratio decidendi, where the buyer specifies the goods and does not rely on the seller's skill or judgment. No implied condition as to fitness for purpose arises under Section 16(1). Small diamond legal principle established. For implied fitness to apply. 1. Purpose must be communicated to. Buyer must rely on seller's skill. Absence of reliance right pointing arrow no liability. Small diamond importance of the case. Clarifies limits of Section 16(1). Protects sellers when buyers are experts. Often contrasted with Baldry v. Marshall. Small diamond simple example. A civil engineer orders cement of a specific grade for a project. It fails due to design choice. Right finger seller not liable. Bristol Tramways v. Fiat. Small diamond exam-oriented conclusion. Bristol Tramways v. Fiat Motors holds that where the buyer relies on his own skill and specifies the goods, the seller is not responsible for their fitness for purpose under the Sale of Goods Act. Small diamond quick comparison. Case. Reliance result. Baldry v. Marshall. On seller liable. Bristol Tramways v. Fiat on buyer seller not liable. If you want, checkmark 5 mark answer checkmark flowchart on Section 16 checkmark case law comparison table. Just tell me